All right, so we went cliff jumping today. It was a dope day. Brought the camera with me, filmed a bunch of cool content. So I will pop that up on the screen in a second. But after that, I will hit you with the trade rundown I took on Thursday. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Yeah, give us a rundown. What do you think?
It's not a big deal here.
Not a big deal.
No.
Easy money. Halo? Halo? Kamu cantik.
Can't fly the drone, man. Because the airport. Did you know what I'm doing?
What?
I'm gonna unlock the drone and then fly into the airport and cause an accident.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because I'm mad.
Nice, man. Nice, dude.
Yes. Amazing. Awesome.
We're trying to convince Rafa to jump. And how's the convincing going here?
I don't know if I go.
I say,
I'm busy
imagine how nice that video would be for you. For your YouTube.
Yeah. Hati-hati.
3, 2, 1, send it! Life is better with the rose, with the pink glasses. It's better. When I remove it, I want to die. You are yellow, man.
A little bit of rain.
Normal day in Bali.
Franco, how do you feel after 2 double chicken wraps?
I'm almost vomiting. But the food was so good, but I'm tired, bro. So
Was it worth it?
I'm tired. So the food is, I don't know.
And the milkshake on top.
Two pitas and gin.
Yeah.
Pitas of
And Jing.
gin. Dog pitas. This was dog, this was chicken.
Oh, lovely.
No, the dog one is really good. Meat is soft.
All right, welcome back to another trade recap video. We're gonna go over Thursday's price action. I made a little bit of a mistake, I'm not gonna lie, but it worked out in my favor, so we'll take it. But anyway, like I said in a previous video, I'm trading on the Tradeovate app because the website is blocked on my computer here in Indonesia. A lot of websites are, unfortunately. So I'm using the app, and the app can be confusing sometimes, man. So I entered the trade I took with 7 contracts on NQ, 7 full contracts instead of MNQ. So I entered with 7 times the size I intended to enter this trade with. which is a mistake I will never make again, but it worked out in my favor, luckily. So let's go over the trade I took. And yes, we'll get right into it. So looking at the 5 minute here, actually, you know what? Let's start off with the 4 hour. So going into the day, I marked up this fair value gap on the 4 hour, and my idea was to wait to see how price was going to react to this 4 hour. So I wanted to see, is price going to respect this to the downside, or are we going to close above and inverse it, because that would be my indication to go bullish on the day. So my original game plan was to wait because the 4 hour candle closes at 10 a.m. So I wanted to wait for that 4 hour closure to sort of give me my bias on the day. But I hopped in trade a bit prematurely. I liked the setup. Would I have taken this trade again? I don't know. Honestly, I'm really trying to exercise patience, so I probably should have just waited to see how the 4 hour was going to react. But it was not a bad trade. So this was the trade idea here. And again, this is the 4 hour. So as you can see, price was sort of dancing around this 4 hour. We ended up holding it, as you can see. So anyway, so the trade idea was we have a beautiful liquidity sweep here. So we get market open, 933, we end up sweeping this low and we barely displace below this low. So this to me looks like it's a manipulation leg. If price wants to keep dropping and wants to keep shitting, in my opinion, this candle is going to look a little something like this. We're going to displace through this low, but because we just sweep this low, we get this little manipulation leg, stop these traders out. In my opinion, this was a good indication that this was going to be a manipulation leg, stopping traders out. So I was looking for a potential entry, and we got that entry on the 2 minute right here. So I entered long as soon as we got this candle close. My stop loss went to break even once we took this internal high here. Bang. And my trade looked a little something like this. This was the trade idea. Stop below here, break even point, and then you could have taken everything off at this high, or you could have looked for targets on the higher time frame. Really up to you, but this was the rough trade idea. But I ended up closing this trade for about 5 points profit because I entered with 7 full contracts, and there was no way I want to take on that much risk. So I looked at my P&L. My idea was to scale in with micros. So I kept entering. I entered about 7 full contracts, looked at my P&L, realized I was up like $1,300, which is crazy. And it took me like a couple seconds to process what I had done. And by the time I exited the trade, I was up about four or 5 points, and I exited with about a $650 win. So I got very lucky that that trade went in my favor. Because if that was a losing trade, that would have really, really screwed me. So that is a mistake I will not make again. Anyway, so that's how Thursday went. So it was a $650 day, but really probably should have been a break-even day. Although this trade down here looked very juicy. So after that scare, I decided to step off the computer. I got very lucky for the day. Again, it was not my intention to do that. Try to enter with 7 micros. But I decided, you know what, I'm done. Although this setup was beautiful. So if you look at the higher time frame, we have this daily fair value gap. So like I said, I was looking at this 4 hour. I wanted to see if this 4 hour would hold or not. And it held. So the 4 hour held. We had a bearish delivery down to this daily fair value gap. So this is a very big bullish zone down here. So you can expect a reaction on the lower time frame once this zone gets tapped into. So again, this is a bullish daily. So as soon as we tap into that, I'm dropping down to the 1 minute and I'm looking to see how price reacts. So right here, you can see we start entering this higher time frame bullish zone, the daily fair value gap, and then we get our entry model right here. So this would have been a beautiful trade, but I decided that I was done for the day after that. But this trade would have looked a little something like this. Stop would have been a close. You could have taken profits at this swing high here. And yeah, just overall a great trade. This is a beautiful trade. I know a lot of people took this. You could put your break-even point right there. So as soon as you take the internal high, stop goes to break even. And then you could have targeted this high here for about a 1 to 2. So beautiful trade, aligning with the higher time frame, the daily. And I think that's sort of a problem with the first trade I took of the day. The first trade didn't necessarily align with the higher time frame, and that's something I've been focusing on a lot recently. So the first trade technically should have been break even. It didn't necessarily align with the higher time frame. I just really like the liquidity sweep. But realistically, I probably should have just waited. Should have just waited till we entered a higher time frame zone. And in this case, we entered the daily fair value gap here, bullish fair value gap, and we got a clean setup. Very clean setup. So that was Thursday summed up. And yeah, man, it was a bit of a crazy day. I'm definitely going to double and triple check which NAS I'm trading, because, you know, trading NQ versus MNQ is a huge difference. You're entering with 10 times the size when you're trading NQ as opposed to MNQ. Anyway, lesson learned, and I will catch you in the next one.